Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Cobra Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by my rock and rollin', doodle-lowin', hippie, honky-tonk man.
Did you just say doodle-blowin'?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I don't really swing that way, if I'm completely honest.
No, don't you be a judge. It's Mikey.
I'm not judging, I'm just saying, like, you know, I just don't want to create false impressions in case someone wants a favor at some point. Or if I ever join the movie industry and have to deal with a big producer type.
Well, sometimes you just got to pay your way, Mikey.
I don't want to.
Oh, Mikey. How else do you think you're going to get a room at Auto Assembly in the future? Or TF Nation, I should say.
Lock me in a room with Wayne for 5 minutes.
Exactly. Something's going to happen, I'm just saying. How you doing this week, Mr. Mikey?
I ain't too bad. How's Andy?
Not too bad, but on the tired side. Might be getting diseased, I don't know, because I've been... most of the people I've seen this week have been slightly diseased, so I fear for my health. You know, one of those things.
Yeah.
It's the season for it, as they say, when disease kind of starts conquering everybody. But we're not here to talk about the horrors of the frailty of humanity. We're here to talk about Transformers and stuff like that. Now, as far as I'm aware, Mr. Mikey, there was no third-party news this week, right?
Nothing popped out to me, if I'm honest.
Nothing big and sexy, anyway. At least not at this point in the recording.
No, I think this might be a first for possibly life.
For a very, very long time, at least. I can tell you that much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is official. Oh, as official as we're ever going to get.
Yeah. Close enough, I think. But we do have some Japanese news. Some two bits of information kind of popped up. One of which we're starting off with. All Masterpiece stuff kicking off. It's quite a Masterpiece-focused episode for the first part of the show.
Masterpiece.
Exactly. As the Takara MP41 Dinobot, we finally get some proper prototype images of him colored as well. And we have a possible price point. Has it been confirmed if this is the actual price? Do you know, Mikey?
Here's the thing. I've seen several prices.
Oh, okay. Well, let me...
Some higher, some lower.
Let me read you what the price is currently, at least on this news article that TFW have put up. So, there is the rumor, this was gone by Lupeza Megastore on Facebook, that the Dinobot is going to go for 28,000 yen, and for those not in the know, that's about $245, which is slightly more expensive than the MP3 36 Megatron.
Yeah,
slightly.
About 100 more, maybe over 100 more than Optimus Primal.
Yeah, it'd be about £200, probably 210.
200, I'd say, is a good mark.
Yeah, something around that point. And Megatron was 180.
I think he was more like 190.
Was he? Oh, well, still more expensive.
And, just for anyone out there who's saying, like, well, that's within my budget, just remember this is before shipping.
Oh, yeah, and for people in the UK, import charge.
And that includes if you're buying from something like Kapow, because they have to pay charges, so their prices are slightly up to make sure they don't make a loss.
Yeah.
So.
What were the other prices you heard then?
We got the one today, which was Amazon are looking to charge $260 for.
Oh, so more. Fantastic. Okay.
But I have seen pre-orders, and I can't remember for which shops because I was just scrolling down. I have seen pre-orders that was like $188, $190. Like I said, I can't direct you to those. I also can't confirm if now we've got some official stuff, if those pre-orders may not, no longer be available at that price.
Yeah.
But at least for a time, you could get him for cheaper than this, like by a good margin. But I mean, how did you feel about this price stuff? Because this caused a bit of a stir.
A kerfuffle, one might say. Yeah, it did cause feathers to be ruffled, shall we say. Luckily for me and for Mikey, we do not collect masterpieces, so the kerfuffle was heard, viewed, noted down for the podcast, and then moved on from.
Yes, it is. And to be honest, we're both of the types. If we wanted a masterpiece now, it would be, well, I really want that character, and I've got the money, so I'll pay it. That would be our attitudes. We're not masterpiece collectors, which means we're not looking at how does this compare to other mass-produced prices, blah, blah. We're very much, I want a Star Saber. Yeah, it's this much. I've got the cash.
Yeah. But it is completely understandable why people would be irritated by it, because it is, that's not cheap.
It's not cheap. I believe it is officially the most expensive masterpiece.
Yeah, with that kind of money, we're slowly getting into the range of some of the Lucky Draw ones.
Or
some of the smaller Lucky Draw figures at that point. Legit.
I'd say you're into at least Solar Chogokin prices for some of the larger pieces.
I know. I think that's fair to say. I'm not up to date on my Solar Chogokins, but yeah, they're usually in the 100 to easily 200s.
They've just relisted they just relisted a Big O with a bunch of accessories for like 300, 350.
Oh god. Is this the Big O set that actually has the upgrade set?
The whole kit and caboodle.
Okay, because I remember
the anchors and everything.
Yeah, because the Big O had the Big O set, and then they did an upgrade set, and the upgrade set was like 80.
Parts.
Yeah.
With all the parts that you need to do all the Big O shit. Like, even his cannon guns were in there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but that's like, he uses those all the time.
It was. I remember when I heard about that, and I thought to myself, that's really kind of scumbaggy in a lot of ways.
Just a tad. So I think this is there going like, hey guys, hi, here you go. And someone is sitting there looking at their Solar Chogokin set that they bought piecemeal and just like, dicks.
Or is it worse if you just have the Big O at this point? Because then you have to go, well, I have to eat it, don't I? I have to eat this expensive price point to get all the accessories.
I want to meet the guy who only bought the accessories.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
I have many questions.
Who are you and why? Anyway, Dinobot. I heard some people suggesting that the potential price point could be because it's not the price of one Dinobot, it's the price of a set of Dinobots, a case. And I thought to myself,
that's an interesting approach, because I think what a lot of people were expecting was a fairly simple toy that's slightly taller than Optimus Primal.
Yes. That's not what we got from the coloured images, it seems.
No, we basically got what appears to be some sort of physical magic.
Magic? They've gone for the Star Trek Discovery approach to science.
Yep. This is basically space fungus taking you through the stars. And this thing is not small. It's huge. He's close. He's either close to or equal to Megatron and Optimus in height.
You mean the actual G1 versions?
Yeah, the G1 ones. Which I saw a lot of people complain about, and I was just like, but he's that big in the show.
Yeah, I mean, granted, the camera angles don't always show it to be like that.
No, but he
is big.
Of the original cast, he's the largest member. He's bigger than Megatron.
Yeah. Is he bigger than Megatron?
He's in his robot mode. He is the biggest of the original.
Really?
One. Yep.
Because I thought... I'm thinking of when Megatron and him were talking, but he was in Raptor mode, and in Raptor mode, he's smaller than Megatron.
Yeah, because it's a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Well, a small T-Rex, but a T-Rex. But even when they go Transmetal, I think they're eye to eye.
Him and Megatron.
Yeah, it's not until they go to the big scale with Optimal Optimus and Transmetal 2 that things get a bit nuts.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, to be honest, but I remember him being a big baby boy. When these images popped up, I tried to figure out how this worked, and I couldn't.
Some people have figured out some things.
Oh well, yeah, they're crazy people. So
I know that his head is in his ass, which seems very appropriate, and it looks like there's either a flip around or whatever, but the robot chest is the underbelly of the Raptor.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
But it's done in such a way, like, good luck if you're going to notice that without flipping the toy over.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're moving on to the other topic now.
Yes, I suppose we can do, because as I mentioned, we did see some proper coloured fancy images, which is about friggin' time, because it's been, like, how long ago was this figure announced?
Oh my god,
so
7,
long.
8 months, something like that.
Yeah, nearly a year it almost feels like.
I get the feeling they announced him without having any development done in him.
That must be the case. I don't see any other reason for the huge gap in time. So what does he come with? Well, he seems to come with 2 base pieces, so you can put them on a stand, and then he has a piston system which allows him to actually connect to the base and go into poses, so he can, in Raptor mode, at least be jumping and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a Sentinel style base.
Yeah. Are the pieces to the bottom left of the image What are those to
those
connect
are-
them to the base?
Yeah, those are clip sections and whatnot.
Okay, because there's 3 of those.
Yeah,
there's 3 faces, which is what you kind of expect.
Well, 4 including the one that's on the head, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Sorry, yes.
Because that is my favorite one because it's not a neutral face; it's a I'm pissed face.
it's a standard one, I suppose.
Yeah, which is just like I want you dead.
We assumed he would have different eye expressions for the dinosaur mode. He doesn't. He just has the
Oh.
one.
They show one, but if you look at the hinge, his forehead is hinged.
Oh.
I think it's going to work more like
Grimlock.
I think either you're going to be able to rotate it around, or there's going to be a little switch inside so you can move the eyes.
Oh, that would be pretty neat.
But otherwise, there's because that's a very unusually placed hinge. If
No.
that's not what that's for. you know?
Yeah, very true. Very true. Good catch, Mr. Mikey.
Yes.
He obviously has his tail, which can detach. No surprise
and
there.
move.
Yeah, it spins.
But it's also jointed.
Well, it has to be. It was in the show, so
No.
have to
Yeah,
make
but
it
it's
for the
more-
masterpiece.
It's more flexible than the one than the show because it can go sideways.
Yeah, I don't know how this again seems a bit like magic to me.
Yeah, I think there's like I knew that the tail split and then you rotated it back so it formed the sides of the weapon.
Yeah.
The rotatory velocir thingy. So I knew that. So I get how that joint works, and I get how the joint at the end of the tail works. I don't get how the left and right swivel works in it.
No.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm sure it does. It's probably very easy and obvious how it works, but to my simple Andy brain of not doing masterpiece toys, it's a baffle. He has his sword. Obviously, it can fold up in 3 places. It seems the handle can move. The top of the sword can flip down. I'm guessing that's for tail storage. He has the golden disc, as me and Mikey kind of mentioned last time we talked about him.
Kind of wish he had 2, but I get why.
Yeah, maybe that'll come with Megatron if they do a Megatron.
That'd be awesome, but it's got 1 and it's Dinobot. As long as you got 1.
Yeah, Dinobot only really had 1 for most of the series until near the end of 2, right?
Yeah, and he had 2, and then he gave 1 to Megatron. So the thing is, you can't replicate that Shakespeare scene where he's talking to himself with the 2 in his hands.
Not yet. I'm
Not yet.
still hoping for another one down the line that'll have another golden disc. Like if they do a Megatron, they could do the other golden disc and the shattered golden disc as well.
Oh man, there's a couple of things I wish this guy had, and if someone said they were going to do these without doing this fancy base, I would have been up for it. But I'll talk about them when we get through the rest of it.
Yes, he has a peg. What's the little peg next to the golden disc? I couldn't really figure what that was.
I don't know. I thought it was originally for the stand, but I can't tell in the picture we have here.
It almost looks like something that you'd plug on to cover a hole on a figure, like a pinhole.
Maybe.
But maybe it has a better use for it than that. And finally, he has some okay eye lasers.
Yeah. They've got this joining piece in the middle, which I could have done without.
I get why they have to have
Yeah.
it, though. It probably just makes it safer and less likely to explode. But it doesn't look as good.
No, and it's not very long, so he basically just... it's like he's leaning in to kiss you and then just shoots you.
Yeah.
So, but I get, again, you'd have to have an extra piece onto a stand or something if it got too big. So.
Yeah, and then you'd worry about the stress it would put on not only the peg going into the hole, but the hole itself. And
not to mention
how it even works.
The tip over factor.
That too, depending on how heavy the figure is versus these things would be, yeah.
And then your translucent plastic goes pop.
Probably. Now there's one specific thing that really, really ruffled my feathers. I'm gonna use that term again. In these images.
Is it that Dinobot doesn't have feathers? Because I have seen that bitching.
Oh no, I don't care about that. I'm not one of your kind of people.
I've seen a lot of that bitching. It's not. They weren't my kind of people. My kind of people watch Jurassic World.
Well, they're still dirty wrong'uns. What ruffled my feathers? And I think from what I remember of Dinobot is right. The is he mistransformed in animal mode, in raptor mode? Because I would have thought that the lighter shade of his skin color would go on the inside of his legs with the pinholes rather than the outside of his legs. Because I can't remember the model straight away offhand, but it just doesn't seem... The colour from the top of the hip doesn't seem to flow with the rest of it.
No, I see what you mean. I'm wondering if that's a sacrifice for the robot mode.
Maybe. It could be.
Because in the robot... Yeah, look at the robot mode arms.
Yes.
They flow more normally. I think that was a robot mode sacrifice for the transformation.
Like I say, I could be wrong, and for the actual show model, he could have had light for the bottom half of his legs. I just can't remember offhand.
I think what happens is when he transforms, you rotate the arms the other way around.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And I think that's basically we had to pick which side had the accurate paint job.
Yeah, and it was obviously going to be there's going to be the robot mode. Yeah, which is fair enough. Like you said, the base is nice.
It's a nice inclusion, but there are other things that could have been here.
Yeah. I'm like looking at him in his raptor mode, kind of awkwardly leaping forward.
That's a terrible picture. That is a Takara masterpiece hot rod level of bad.
It's not the best way to represent your figure.
It's less like he's leaping and more like someone's kicked him.
Yeah, oh man, that would be great. Yeah, if you had Primal behind him with a boot. That'd be great. Oh man.
Get out there and save someone. I don't want to.
Bitch, get out there. Shit. So what do you think of this guy? I mean, we do have him next to Cheetor and Primal and them in their animal modes as well.
Oh, that's amazing because like they get the scale right in robot mode, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go down to dinosaur mode. Holy crap, he's huge.
Yeah, he's a
he's a lot bigger than he was in the show.
Yeah, they can only do so much magic, I guess.
Because his head was about primal height.
Yeah.
In dinosaur mode, so this is basically like I'm less velocity. Like he's gone like all those years, people going like, actually they're Utah Raptors.
Oh my god!
And he said, "Oh, fine, you want that? You want to play that game? Okay, we're playing that game." And secretly they weren't. That's way too big to be Jurassic Park Raptors.
Ooh,
fucking newbies! I had this whole thing growing up. I'm not kidding about people who are big fans of raptors as dinosaurs, and I was just like, not even knew what they were until 1993. Were you fucking nerds?
Were you chased out of the village like Frankenstein's monster with pitchforks and torches?
Everyone going, we're enjoying the movie, and I'm just screaming, you're all fucking newbies. But honestly, like in terms of accessories, what I really, if you'd taken out the stand, I would have loved a battle damaged head and a battle damaged chest piece.
Oh, that would have been nice. I don't know how you would have done the chest piece potentially, but if you could have dirtied him up, yeah, that'd be great.
If it doesn't transform much, and you could basically just have had that a removable piece.
Yeah.
And then I would have done without that kind of stand for that, because especially with the disc and the eye lasers, because you could replicate the scene quite well then.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, like you said, the arm paint, when you notice it, it's kind of very distracting.
Yeah.
But apart from that, holy fucking crap.
Yeah, this guy is real good. He does have some problems in Raptor mode.
He does, but he's no more than Cheetor, because we live in the world of physics in the real world.
Not magic.
Because I have seen some bitching about, like, oh, I can see bits. Oh, yeah. His backside, but just like,
oh my god.
This isn't perfect transformation. I'm saying,
oh my god.
How even? What they have done here is an engineering fucking marvel.
Yeah.
It's insane what they've managed to accomplish here. They've made an almost completely show-accurate Dino mode. It really is. He's got some gaps, but every bit to make him look like Dinobot's Raptor from the show is there. And they've made it very articulated. He's got rotating neck, up, down. He's got jaws. He's got rotating wrists. He can hold the golden disc. His legs can spread. How are his legs spreading when his shoulders like become the inside leg? Mm-hmm. The shoulders should not work. It doesn't make sense. And then they give him an articulated tail, and then he transforms, and it is Dinobot. He doesn't look out of proportion. His paint's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
He looks incredibly posable. He looks great with the others. His accessory count is almost 100% spot on. His weapon has a functioning spin gimmick.
For some reason.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, the poor bastard they assigned to design this. He was just lying there in a pool of his own spit, just going like, it needs a spin. It's in the show. They'll want it in the show. They need some spin. And they're just like, let him have it.
Clearly, Mikey, this was made by Dan Coroto. And he was going through his live counter.
There was a man waving a Dinobot screaming, Kamida! This was made by God. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is better than I ever hoped. If you'd have told me that Dinobot, even factoring in the fact he is the most popular character in that show, if you told me he was going to get a figure of this quality, that it would ever be possible, holy crap. The price makes sense. I know people don't want to hear that, but this is crazy engineered with an excellent, excellent paint job and a bunch of accessories. Like, I want to be the guy going, oh, well, I get why the price is, pissing people off. I get why it did initially before we saw this. Now this is one of those things where, suck it up. Because this is very reasonably priced, especially if you got it for the low price I saw for some pre-orders.
See, I can't be mad at someone who's upset about the price, because that amount of money is a lot, and it's real difficult to justify spending on effectively a toy. But you see, you can at least see where the money's going. It doesn't feel like they're just. It's not like. And I hate to say this because I'm sure I've hopped on enough. It's not like they decided, well, this is a £16 figure. Now that the movies came out, we can just make them 20.
Yeah.
Not for any increase in quality, but just because this is an actual. You look at it and you can go, okay, yeah, okay, it makes sense.
I mean, I can see if you're sitting there going like, listen, I was really, really enthused about this. I had like 100, 150 set aside. I was factoring postage. And then they came out with this, and I'm really disappointed by that because I just can't afford it. I 100% get that.
Yes.
But once you've seen the figure, I would hope most reasonable people go, like, at least I see where the money went.
Sure, yeah.
What is annoying me is when I see people who are reacting to this by going, oh, well, I could, have done better than this and get my money's worth for 100 easy. Like, third party could do this for 100.
No, they couldn't.
No, they couldn't.
No.
We've seen what third party do for this kind of crazy crap. And one thing I saw, and it really kind of irritated me, and this is not me getting on my high horse, it's just people going, well, can't wait for the knockoff. And it's just like, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
If you don't want to spend the money, that's fine. If you want to buy a knockoff version, I'm not going to judge you for that. But don't brag about it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Because it's not... It's like, it's nothing to brag about, and it is basically you saying you are just because you're throwing a bit of a hissy fit.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to support the guys making these for you because we if we don't keep supporting them, they will stop making these.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like if you're like someone who said, "Oh, I super wanted this, I can't afford it," if they do a knockoff, if like Wei Zhang do a cheaper version of it, totally getting that. And it's just like, that's necessity. That's you saying, like, I really want it. I just can't afford it. I could never afford that price. Like, you were never going to be a customer in that case to worry about. And I have no problem with that. It's the attitude that goes along with it.
Yeah.
That kind of gets me. But yeah, this thing looks fucking incredible, and I am so happy that Dinobot finally got his just desserts. I really hope there are no QC issues.
Yeah, no, I guess the question now is, because they've got these three out, and these were technically...
Who's next?
Well, I would say... Do you remember when they re-released the Generations Rat Trap and all those guys? Does that mean we're done, or are they going to redo a Rhinox? Are they going to do a Rat Trap? I don't know.
Yeah. I'd like them to take a break from the Maximals if they keep this Beast Wars stuff up.
Oh, Mikey.
No, but like this is one show because I knew Megatron was actually fairly popular over there.
I
they basically made him nuts, like nuttier than he was here.
Oh.
But I know it's the Japanese thing of popular characters, but they know, they know, and if they can do one, they can. I mean, what? Maybe not. Like if you wanted to do three, like do a Black Arachnia, do. Megatron and do I don't know Pterosaur.
Sure.
Do those three. You can stick in your Waspinator. You can stick in one of your Tarantuluses, and you've got something approaching the display. But I would really like to see a version of Megatron out of this.
Do you not think though they try and complete the Maximals first before moving on to doing any Predacons, just to have a complete set? Or do you think that because they have the Generations toys, they are good enough, at least for the moment, to fill in those gaps in quotations, masterpiece styled collection?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, when you say complete Maximals, are we talking?
I mean, like season 1.
Yeah, so we're talking, what, Air Razor?
Yeah,
Rhinox.
I'd argue...
Tigatron I could see pretty easily. He'd be a very heavy remold, but he would be from Cheetor.
I'd argue that they wouldn't need to do those two, because they were more like bit characters, or part characters.
Oh, God, yes.
They weren't really part of the main cast, so you could probably leave them out easily and not be too fussed.
I'd be okay with, like, if I had this, I'd be okay with the Rat Trap filling in, the current Rat Trap. With the thing that throws it off at Rhinox is he especially when they're clearly being concerned with scale here, he's quite small
Yes.
compared to what he should be.
Yes, quite.
Yeah, so I don't know, because it's a decent toy. It's a very good toy from what I can see, but because I had to fiddle with that Rhinox a couple of times, and it's
It wasn't
a solid
bad.
thing, but
Wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
but it's not masterpiece. It's not, like
God, no.
Yeah. But if it was personally me, I'd say you've done 3 Maximals, take a break, do 3 Predacons, come back, see? Because otherwise I fear this line dying before they even get onto the bad guys. And they need to give him anyone to fight.
I guess it depends on the Japanese mentality, because we know, as usual, that the Japanese, for the most part, especially for their collector-based things, don't usually do the bad guys, or they're not
unless
as
it's a
willing
mecha
to
suit.
do it. Yeah, unless
If it's a mecha robot, they'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's a character, they won't do that.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. But I'd love to see them do the Megatron, because I don't think it would be out of the realms of possibility for them to do it, because the original toy from back in the day transformed pretty much like you'd want it to, and it was one of the best representations, Bob, the first Primal from that first season. Like, you compare
Honestly,
the season 1 Dinobot to the original, this Dinobot to the original Dinobot toy. Woof.
Yep.
Woof. Even compare this to the Generations one a few years ago.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts.
I mean, I have a soft spot for that toy, but it's far from
Oh,
perfect.
it's got some issues. Woof.
But I think I would like to see it, especially like the Megatron wouldn't be too complicated, or
No.
shouldn't be too complicated. He shouldn't be more complicated than Optimus in terms. He'll be bigger, so it'll be more expensive. But yeah, I'm hoping for the best. But this, if this line ended today and they said this is the last one, I think they did well for themselves with what they did.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, way better than I think we ever thought possible. So I'm pleased.
God, yes.
I'm not gonna get it, obviously, but I'd like to see someone have it.
Yeah,
So
I
I
look
could see
forward to the Grimlock version of it.
But yeah, that would actually look quite nice, to be honest. A white dinosaur and a slightly new head sculpt. That would look good.
Or they do hard head
No, they wouldn't.
with fully functional like brain
Oh,
pushing out.
that was a horrible gimmick.
I love that toy.
You know what would be better idea?
He
and
was my
cooler?
desk toy at work for years.
You know
I
what
used
would
to
be a
just sit
better
there
redo of
spinning
the
his
toy?
tail. Who?
Dirge gun.
Thrustor.
Thruster. That's what it was.
That would
Thrustor.
be really, really cool.
Yep.
I do not want to see the price of that, but
Yeah, that would be a
that
heavy
would be-
remold, but possible, because they did it with the original toy and they made him look super cool.
yep.
But man, yeah. We'll
He does
see.
transform completely differently this time around, so some of that headgear could get in the way.
Maybe not. We'll see.
Removable raptor head. That's there. I've solved it. You're welcome.
Problem done. Well, I'll continue, because we've got more Masterpiece news, as the MPM-05 Masterpiece movie Barricade has been shown off. Proper images this time, not designer stuff or anything like that. So we've seen him in his vehicle mode, in his robot mode, in a few poses, of course, and he's got his stupid little juggling ball of doom with all of its little spikes and all that stuff.
Which I think he used once to hit Bumblebee.
Yeah, and then didn't it vanish in the next shot or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the gun arm.
Does he have a gun arm?
Yeah, the gun arm.
Which
in that same shot.
Is that a gun arm? Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'll take your word for it.
He's got laser. I can see rockets. I think those. Oh no, those are fingers.
Yeah, they're just his fingers.
Oh right. Oh, that looks weird. Oh, I forgot to mention Dinobot's got articulated fingers in his robot mode.
Yeah, it's like not super articulated, but it's got like 2 joints in each finger.
Therefore kicking the ass of like every Masterpiece toy that's come out for ages, including third party, because I hate that stupid finger pointing thing.
Oh, you did the trigger finger.
And then like, oh, we've got this finger, and then we've got 3 as a lump.
Yeah. They're never usually super good. Yeah. But what do you think about Barricade, Mikey? We've got not a lot of really interesting facts about him that's been given. But we do have things like the figure's being built with die-cast parts, which isn't a huge surprise, I would say. And it features 107 deco ops with 30 points of articulation. I assume the deco ops are just places where they put decos on, or decals, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine. It's based on a car. I don't really care what the car is, but it's based on a car. And nothing interesting, because it's just based on Barricade, which is obvious.
There is one thing I really want to point out.
Oh?
first movie masterpiece with a movable faceplate, allowing fans to play out their favorite scenes from the Transformers film, and it explains so much.
What?
Because look at his face. You notice how his face looks really simple,
Yeah.
and especially compared to like Bumblebee and Optimus.
Yeah.
Notice how his chin is one piece.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, you can make him go... Bah, 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 bah.
Yep, and that feels like a Hasbro exec came in halfway through this was being made.
Yeah, because they did that on, like, oh, Jesus, MP1 with the button in the back of Prime's head that made his mouth plate go up and down.
Everything about the engineering of this feels like it was like the others. It was Takara's end of things, sorting this out, blah, blah, blah. And then someone in Hasbro said, needs a play feature. This needs a play feature.
It does seem weird.
And he needs blue. He needs all spark blue.
Why does he have blue on him? I don't remember him having blue on him in the movie.
I think he had very faded blue, but...
Not that bright blue, that's for sure.
Nope. This is all spark blue. Remember all spark blue?
I do.
I think, like I said, I think this was someone coming in and interfering where they were not wanted. And I saw a lot of people get pissed about both of these things.
I can see why, because it's a really good looking figure, but then there's just the face. I did think originally the face looked a little bit weird. I didn't think it looked bad. I was just like, there's something odd about that. And then, like you say, the blue's just odd.
The paint apps on it aren't great either.
It's not that they're bad. It's just the mischosen.
Simple. Very simple.
It's because they're bright silver, and he wasn't like no one in the movies are bright colored.
Did they give him a mustache?
I don't think so. I think that's just the way that the gold's kind of sitting on his face.
But yeah, I have to admit though, like a bad head does take me out of a toy, and those blue highlights are super distracting.
It's very strange.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if there's a QC issue, because I noticed in one of the pictures the panels in the car mode aren't lining up.
Oh really? Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. Maybe that's just a hiccup during the photo shoot.
But I have heard the same thing about both Bumblebee and Optimus.
Really?
That they both have panel lining issues. So I don't know. Like, I think he looks good for the most part, and I think there's some crazy engineering going on here.
Yeah. He's certainly again better than the original 2007 toy.
Yeah. So and I mean, he's clearly cheating in several bits, but I can't really blame him for that.
No. So did the movie.
Yeah, a lot more than several bits, but it's just there are these two things that are just super weird and do not like really bring they add a it's probably the wrong term to use, but a shelf retail vibe to the whole thing.
Yeah, like you can sell in Toys R Us more so than anything.
Because these will be sold in Toys R Us, but you know. This makes it feel like someone went, oh, we're selling a toy, not we're selling a masterpiece movie figure with collector value.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the other two figures do say, and we just saw Masterpiece Dinobot.
Well, I suppose as well with those ones they've had, it's not the first time that they've worked on high-end Bs and Primes. This is kind of the first time they've really worked on a high-end barricade.
Yeah, but it's like it's not the engineering that's letting him down. Like, the toy itself looks very well done. But these are things that, like the blue and the face, those came in at some point in the design process, and I've gotta wonder why. Because I think I don't think I noticed any blue in those fuzzy promo shots, and I was looking for color triggers. So
yeah. Now that you mention it, I don't remember them popping up there either.
And before someone says, well, they were fuzzy, yes, but blue kind of stands out against black.
What? Especially bright blue.
Is it purple or gold?
Oh God! Don't
what dress is he wearing?
That's how you sell me on this toy if it came in a dress. There's definitely something to be said for the newer barricade design, because it is simpler and it would have had a cleaner looking robot mode. But I get why they're doing this one, since this is, you know, it would fit in with the other two. But yeah, it has at least in my eyes, it's not as like, oh shit, look at this. Unlike the Dinobot, which also we saw this week. Dinobot was the oh shit, wow. That's impressive. Yeah, this was okay. It's
got less of the factor that the Optimus had when you go like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Like there's a how did they do that to this, but it's like I'm really distracted from all the things I want to engage with by just these two little bits.
I was a little put off as well that the windscreens or the back screens of the car are inside the forearms. I get why, because you can only do so much. But it's again very noticeable that they're there.
It's one of those things like with beast modes, you sacrifice the animal for the robot. Occasionally, with the other way around, you sacrifice the robot for the vehicle, and I'm never as okay with that. Because if I was to have something to look a little less clean, it would always be the vehicle mode for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I'm usually going to like have a lot more time with the robot than I am with the car.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, it saves more space as well having them in robot mode. Anyway, Mikey, do you want to take us on to something not Masterpiece related, but something fucking weird?
Oh, this is almost list worthy, except that I know what the price would be utterly ridiculous. But yeah, so you may, if you've been watching Toku, or you like any Japanese media, you may recognize a couple of faces in here. So there's a show over in Japan, and I've only learned about it this week. So it's called Downtown no Gaki no Tsukai ya Arahende. Downtown, this is no task for kids. A Japanese comedy show starring the comedian duo Downtown, one of which I know for a fact has been on Garo. I think he was a horror.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because I recognize him from Garo. I think I recognize him from a couple of Toku stuff as well. Rider, I was going to say, not Toku.
What's he been in Rider stuff? Was he just like background characters and stuff?
I think it was like Guy of the Week.
Right.
Yeah.
My favorite kind of guy.
I definitely remember him from Garo. Want to say season 1. I'm not sure. It might be season 2. It's one of the first 3 anyway, just because those are the ones I watched.
Okay.
But yeah, so the show is getting a new Blu-ray release. Isn't that exciting, Andy? And if you get Blu-ray, you can also get hold of an exclusive Transformers toy, which is a Titans Return Fortress, and I'm going to say Fortress since this is Japan, Fortress remold with special headmaster units. Will not come with a body.
What?
But you will get Donarimas and Guchiramas, who have what I can, like... Okay, right, so there's a very particular, very un-Transformers style to these faces. There's a manga and an anime out there about, I can't remember the name of it, something Terra something?
Firma.
Terraformers.
Oh. Okay.
Where it's people fighting giant alien cockroach people.
Oh.
It's like one of those sort of Attack on Titan style, super gory. We don't have much plot stuff.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. But the bugs are kind of they don't look like bugs. They almost look like men in rubber suits that have spandex suits that have pointy bits coming out of the top of their heads. Yes.
Yeah. And the face style of the two faces here are pretty much in line with that.
Oh.
Like big lips and long face, sort of like half simian kind of thing.
See, I thought they were going for, the Masterpiece Sunstreaker that came with the stupid alien masks.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
I thought that's what they were going for on here.
I don't know. That's what it said to me first, I have to admit. But
okay.
Because they're definitely new molds. This is based on a sketch they did of a lab and a doctor and stuff like that. I had a look at some pictures from it, and it looks fun. I haven't seen it, but it looks fun. So you got these two absolutely bizarre faces that go onto white headmasters. Look like the headmaster molds are going to be identical. Then you just swap them between the Fortress, who is painted white with blue highlights and kind of a lot of blue sort of speckles on his chest and shoulders, and with the letters GRSL. Which is the initials of the lab that this is based on. And then he turns into a Fortress Maximus head, which will have a mysterious face yet to be revealed, and will have new sound effects.
Oh, neat.
So we got plenty of these. If you go over to Cybertron, I think they have better pictures.
But they're still sketches, are they?
Yeah, but they've got like comparison photos with the actual show and stuff like that.
Okay.
So this is the most random of crap.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this isn't like a kids comedy show either. I get the distinct vibe. So I think this might just be, hey adults, do you want a toy robot? It's Japan, so people are going, yeah, probably.
I'd say I don't know, because I'm not super up to date with like Japanese comedy. I know there's usually two people together, and one's the straight man and one's the idiot.
Yeah, and with these two, I get the feeling blonde guy's the straight man. Just don't ask me why. It's just a vibe.
Yes.
But it's so weird. I actually saw on Twitter during the week someone bought Fortress Maximus for £40, I think it was. And they were just like, well, I
Oh.
know why it was £40 because he didn't come with a head.
Oh.
And then I went, hey, maybe you can put a head in, they're the new head out now. Ho, ho, ho. And I said, like, honest to God, it's a deciding factor in whether or not I keep this. So, I just think this is super neat. It's super weird, and it will look super out of place in your Fortress Maximus.
yeah.
Oh, it's amusing. It's not list-worthy, but it's definitely amusing.
I suppose if you're a customizer, though, you could probably get that head, and if you're that man who has a Fortress Maximus body but without the head,
Yep.
repaint it.
Still costs probably less than getting an actual full Fortress Maximus.
Probably.
Although I suspect you are going to end up with a really weird-ass face.
Oh, probably, yeah.
On the, and like I'd love to have a translation of what he's saying, but those faces look kind of racist, though. I get super performed, but they look nothing like the actors. This was a comment. It's made in Japan.
Yeah.
It's not racist in Japan because it's a Japanese person making a parody face of a Japanese person. They're allowed to do that.
Are they, Mikey?
It's racist if I did it. And then went around saying, I think all Japanese people look like this. Like, what? Looks kind of racist to me.
Good for you.
Andy, help me.
I can't.
And then they go on to comment about Japanese racism or inappropriate manga like Hitalia Axis Powers.
What?
Apparently Hitalia Axis Powers is racist and inappropriate.
Cool. Don't read it then. Problem solved. Right?
Isn't that like the most harmless thing that was ever made?
I don't know.
I mean, unless you're like, well, Italy's like, yeah, it's all caricatures. That's the point. If minorities want to come, they're not a minority. It's Japan.
They are the
They're
majority.
We would be the minority. And then, oh Jesus, someone tries to. Oh my God.
Shall we move on, Mikey?
You're ruining this for me.
Let's move on. Takara Tomy have updated us with information on the Deluxe Cogman. It has a new release date. People were worried about it before. It was advertised originally at coming out on the 28th of October. The new date is December the 28th, so that is a little bit of a delay, but it is still confirmed to be coming out, so don't you fret. And we did also have some other information. I didn't send it to Mikey because I'm only briefly going to mention it. As
You
Cogman and the rest of Wave 4 of the Titans Return stuff has popped up in the UK. So that includes Bumblebee with the interchangeable arm cannon, Crosshairs and Strafe, and of course Cogman, or as I call him, Cockmaster. And he's also being released out in Canada land as well. So if you're worried about his availability, he is making the rounds in the countries and will be hitting, as I say, Japan basically by the end of the year. So that's good if you are in the market for a Cogman of any variety. Mikey, do you love the Cockmaster?
I know a woman who does, so she's probably like flipping out because now she can have British Cockmaster and Japanese Cockmaster. Like it'll be his Japanese butler. Like, oh, if she watched Toku, I'd say be her Gonza.
I don't think she doesn't. She doesn't watch.
No, she doesn't. I think it's amusing to try and make her because I know I won't. But it's amusing because she just no. I'm just like, but it's so good.
I always wonder why people are so adamant about not wanting to watch something.
I think she just doesn't like Japanese media in general, which I can
fair enough.
accept. But there are just like, no, I don't. It's when someone says, "Oh, well, I watch anime," and just like, "Oh, do you want to try Toku?" Oh no, dude, that looks so lame. It's just like
the one I don't like is when people say, "I don't like new anime. I like old anime." And I'm like, "You don't like any new anime?" No, not after like 1980, and then they add a year, and I'm like, "Really? Nothing in that period."
Any anime past 1980 something. So you're basically like Tetsujin.
Yeah.
And maybe Ideon.
Well, maybe. They're like up to, say, like Street Fighter animated movie, and then it's like, after that, no, not really. It's like, wow!
Have you watched anything? Well, I just don't like the look of it. Okay.
Any of it?
And then they get really vocal when they're like that, I've noticed.
Yes.
Like, it's like, listen, it's not my fault it all got shit. It's just like...
Any of it? So much. Anyway, Mr. Mikey, do you want to talk to me about a stinger who gets stung?
Are you allergic to bees? You've been stung.
I'm allergic to your fucking mouth.
How did you find that out?
It was a really lonely TF Nation one year.
That explains the funny taste the next morning. But
Did you not wonder why you could sleep that night?
oh no, I knew I couldn't sleep that night. Oh, dear. Yes, so it has been reported recently that there is a new movie line coming out. We've had listings and various things. But the Facebook group Taiwan TFCC had a little event over in Taiwan this weekend, and it revealed fuzzy images of Stinger, who has been rumored on the list of deluxes and looks like confirmed. In the background, we also have a very small glance at the leader Blackout, and there is the shoulder what's likely to be Ratchet. But the main focus is on Stinger. It is him in his robot and his vehicle mode. It shows that, oh yeah, he didn't just turn into a Camaro, he turned into like space age concept car that made all those weird noises. And then we see his robot mode. He doesn't remove my enthusiasm for the other figures in the line.
Okay.
Because the relatively poor quality pictures we've seen of Megatron and Brawl, I thought looked pretty good. But he does make me think the deluxes will be nothing special.
Why do you say that?
He is incredibly kibbly. His back leg, the back of his legs are basically cars, and he has maybe between a half and a quarter of a car on his forearms. And now I'm hoping there's some mistransformation going on here, but I'm not entirely sure you can do anything about those forearms. If how they transform. But,
yeah.
So, it's not a good picture as well, so I can't judge if the figure looks good regardless. But, hey, were you maybe not desperate to have another version of Bumblebee, except in red? Basically, the thing about this toy is you can get a red Stinger, and he looks like the movie model because it's the Age of Extinction Bumblebee with a new head. And my thing would be, I care more about the robot than I do the car in that. So I don't need a deluxe toy that looks like the car. So I could skip this because I think that Age of Extinction Bumblebee is not a bad toy at all when it's not priced £25. But he's a bit messy. What about you, Andy? Any thoughts?
For me, it's hard to say because, like you say, the image is quite fuzzy, and it might be better when we see it properly shot and properly transformed and all that jazz. But as usual, it's a movie line stuff, so I'm not super invested, but it would be a shame if, say, the deluxe line is a massive step down from the Voyager leader line, or part of the line.
Yeah, but hey, Blackout's foot is there as well.
Yeah, cool.
So, yeah, hopefully we'll see some official pictures in the not-too-distant future if these are already making stops at shows. But
you'd hope so.
Yeah, cool. And I have to agree with the guy who made the news post. Yeah, great. Ratchet, Stinger, Blackout, please.
Yeah.
Can we see him, please?
Well, we already had a fairly okay-ish Stinger, didn't we? Because we got a repaint of the Bumblebee toy from Dark of the Moon. That was fine. Yeah,
it was fine. I like that toy. I actually think it's a good toy. It doesn't look like the car.
No. Oh, no.
So, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
If I want a Stinger, I'll get that one.
Yeah, that's fair. Shall I move us on, Mikey?
Take us on, Andy.
Yeah, well, we got the... last week we talked about in 2 days from that last podcast, we'd get a trailer for the Titans Return show. We got it.
It was on 2 weeks later.
Yeah. And we've also now got the behind the scenes with the cast, another one. So we'll first have a brief talk about the cast one. It didn't really reveal anything. It was just like some people who are like, I'm really happy to be on the show. Are you? Well, I got paid money for it. Shh.
On the other hand, I do kind of believe certainly the younger crowd there are actually happy to be there.
Yes, it was specifically when Michael Dawn said, I feel honored to be part of the Transformers cast. I was like, no, you don't, Michael. Come on.
No, you don't. You're hanging out with Judd Nelson and he's a hobo.
Yeah, but you can't say that to him because he'll get stabbed.
Yeah. Also, I would say it does kind of confirm one of my older fears is that they're clearly recording in single boots, not talking to each other.
Oh yeah, it seems to be the case.
We see them in recording sessions and they're on their own. I think this is important because the voice actors, in my opinion, got a shit ton of ridiculous response from the fandom.
Yes.
From Combiner Wars. They were perfectly fine. They did a good job at what they were given. It's not their fault that no one could do audio and no one could write.
And no one could direct.
And no one could direct.
Seemingly no one could direct.
People are going yeah, finally, professional voice actors. We're going to talk about a little bit of that in a second. But I'm just going to say, a bad director can kill a good actor.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
And a good actor can save terrible dialogue.
Yeah.
Not all of Megatron's dialogue was great. It was the best in the show, but it wasn't always great. But it was always delivered well.
Yes.
And the sound effects were always good. There's a lot of stuff to complain about, and it's not... The voice actors, I think, did the very best they had. Like, some of them were miscast, is the worst I can say.
You know, there were none of them were amazing, apart from the dude that did Megatron, like you say.
He's on this
fine.
as well. He's at the end, and he's just like, yeah.
So yeah.
Although I will say, like, I think Frank Todaro does a very fine job. I just think he's trying to be Starscream too much, if you know what I mean.
The stereotypical Starscream, which we're all kind of sick of in a way.
The thing is, we've all evolved. Like, I can't remember. We've had like high pitched Starscream, but none of the Tom Kenny and Steve Blum's performances are not Chris Latta's.
No.
Like, they're very different.
But this is G1, so it needs to be sound like G1. G1, Mikey. G1.
I re-listened to the TFW WTF at Machinima recently.
All right.
And it was just like, when they get into the thing about, like, gotta be G1, when you just hear Chris die.
It's my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
So, there was also the trailer, Mikey, the official trailer for what the story is going to be.
That comes out 2 weeks before the thing.
Yes.
With no fanfare.
No fanfare. What did you think, Mikey? This is taking place directly after Combiner Wars, the hard-hitting series that shaped the world of Transformers. The Game of Thrones, some may say, and repeatedly remind people of. Because
I can't find any articles. I can't find any articles at the moment, you know.
Well,
I looked.
That's because there was some kind of fanfare behind the last series.
I think it was more like someone like read that and said, "You're not posting that again." What you're going to find is that someone's like, "Oh, Titans Return is the Game of Thrones of animation," and all they've done is change the word Combiner Wars for Titans Return.
See, I'd like them to change the word Game of Thrones to House of Cards. Because that's meant to be good, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you feel really awkward after watching it in current events and realize it's being cancelled for powers because the powers that be are intervening.
I hear that might be a reason for it. But Titans Return, Mikey. Starscream's dead.
Yep.
Starscream's dead.
He's a screaming face in the wall.
We'll see.
Okay,
other stuff happens.
Before we go on, I want to say something.
Mm-hmm.
If you're actually interested in this show, don't watch this trailer.
No, it will spoil.
Because
it'll spoil too much. Because it's not going to be long, so.
No, but like, not only that, but this trailer is spoiler rife.
Oh yeah.
I'm fairly certain they spoil the major crux of their show.
Yeah.
There is one moment involving a character, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, that's in your trailer.
Yeah.
What I can only assume will show up a few episodes in, and is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And changes a lot of dynamics.
Which is really stupid.
Yeah, and I would also say don't watch the cast video because they spoil it there as well.
Maybe if you if you haven't seen this first trailer, maybe not as much, but still.
Yeah, but listen to the cast video. Listen to it. You don't need to see it. Listen to it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
As for the trailer, like, apart from that, I saw a lot of really, really negative reaction.
Okay.
Okay. All I've come away with so far is the animation has not been improved.
No.
Apart from that, it is a generic trailer, which kind of highlights a few things like, my God, did I not want Peter Cullen in this role again? Yeah. Because he sounds unbelievably disinterested. To
be fair, if this was the first time he sounded disinterested with this kind of project, that would make sense to me. But we've heard him in the movies be super disinterested as well. So
I'll be honest, I think Peter Cullen's kind of like emotionally done with Prime.
It's because, well, I don't think that's the case. I think he's given roles with nothing to do in them. And if you're an actor and you're given a role and it's just do this again, but don't do anything cool or interesting. Yeah. You know, you're gonna lose your flow.
Yeah, for nearly 10 years he's been told do the same thing in every version of the character.
Can I have some can I have my character grow or have some emotion? No. Okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, great. One shall stand, one shall fall.
Platitudes.
What's Frank doing? Oh, Frank's doing so many cool things. What? Frank's you should see what Frank's getting to do. Like, oh man, they're really playing with Frank. Oh.
Is that where Peter's eye twitches? He goes outside or onto a roof and goes, "Welcome!"
And you just have him pop out from behind a corner with a cigar.
Peter.
And in terms Peter, Jesus, in terms of like trailer stuff, it doesn't reveal anything new.
Well,
the Titans are coming.
Well, it reveals the spoilers, so it does reveal something new.
yeah, but a lot of people are really like, "Oh God, it's such a shit trailer."
Well, it is.
It's a nothing trailer.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a justified reason of it being shit.
No, like some people say, like, "Oh, it's shit because of the show." It's just like, I don't know anything about the show beyond some spoilers. I don't know what the writing's going to be like. I don't know what the acting. Well, I know what some of the acting's going to be like. I don't know what the plot progression is going to be like. All I know from this trailer is that someone shouldn't be making trailers, and they clearly have not invested any more money into their animation department. So Tatsunoko Studio are still like doing the inverted commas badass thing at the moment.
They did Prime, Mikey.
I know, and they also did RID.
What happened to that studio?
No, actually, no. Tatsunoko didn't do Prime.
Did they not?
No, Polygon did Prime and RID.
Oh.
Tatsunoko did literally everything else in anime.
Oh. Okay.
Not there. I don't blame them. I think I blame the fact that someone threw $5 at them and a cake. And then said, off you go.
I don't know. We'll see. It'll start soon, and then we can bitch about it when we see proper episodes. So maybe that's something to look forward to.
If it's well written, it can save me from the animation. It can't save the animation, but at least it can save me from it.
Yeah.
And it does have a new writer, but it also has all the other creative teams. And the writer worked on RID.
Yeah, we'll wait and see, I suppose.
And try to convince us this is going to have ramifications for years to come.
It won't. It won't.
But yeah, hey, first appearance of an animated overlord in Western media.
That's something.
He probably won't say anything. He'll probably just show up at the end like Fortress Maximus's floating head. In the last... That was really weird. The Titans have returned.
Spooky.
Yeah, but... Any thoughts yourself, Andy?
Not really. I'm not looking forward to it, but I am preparing myself mentally and physically for the time ahead. Do you want to take us on to the next two stories, Mikey, on the business side of Transformers?
There's a bit of business going on here. Just as Paramount began to celebrate its extended partnership with Hasbro, disaster strikes. Huahua, I'm sorry if I'm murdering that. Huahua Media which collaborated with Paramount in investing $1 billion to promote and distribute movies in China, has withdrawn from the deal.
Hang on, was that a joke where you said $1 billion, or was that an actual amount?
$1 billion. That's real.
That was the actual amount. Wow, okay.
That's the actual amount. That deal had its days, would have funded 25% of Paramount film slate ups until 2019.
Oh.
But yeah, some people think this is due to the rocky effect of Last Night, which failed to live up to expectations for the Chinese company. So yeah, no idea how this is going to affect things. It shouldn't really affect the movies being made, but they do point out here that revenue from China mainly drove the global success of Transformers Age of Extinction and Last Night. The thing is, I think, something that just hit, because I never really, people are saying, oh, the Chinese market, and I never really thought about it anymore. But if these guys were involved, they're they're one of the things that made those movies unbearable, which was the appealing to the Chinese market. Which, and why was there a martial artist in that elevator, Andy?
Because China, and he's a big star in China, and he's super important to the plot.
Is he?
And all Chinese people know Kung Fu.
Yes. Yes. The random guy you meet in an elevator in China is some sort of martial arts wizard.
Yeah.
He's basically young Jackie Chan. Is he a big star over in China?
I think so. I thought he was meant to be.
I don't know. And the reality TV show. And the one guy who came in at the side and like, hi. And even the Chinese track on the soundtrack, which is actually one of the better tracks on the soundtrack. But appealing to China kind of helped make these movies, help the suck factor. They didn't help. They did not help the movies.
No.
So, yes, money is gone, But maybe that means you have to try a bit harder now because you do not have a guaranteed large market. Now maybe your movies have to ride slightly on their own quality.
Well, there's that potential, or the potential that they'll just pull out of doing, or they'll pull out of putting as much money into this stuff, and they'll have even less faith in them.
Yep, that's very possible. I think it'll depend. Bumblebee might decide this,
Yeah, I could see that.
The low budget Transformers movie.
Yeah, it's a little. Is it a worrying time? A little bit, I suppose, because it means that there would be a lack of revenue, or the extra revenue that Hasbro's been enjoying if these things stop. So.
But also in a bit of a left field thing, we had some merger rumors. Now one of these rumors is up on TFW, and one of them I found on I think it was either T-Formers or Cybertron. But first off, Hasbro to consider merging with Mattel. Wall Street Journal is reporting via undisclosed sources that Hasbro has been in talks to take over merge with Mattel. This is not the first time this has happened. This has been up for debate before. Hasbro is currently worth $11 billion. Mattel is $5 billion. Now, the interesting thing here, if they merge, then Marvel and DC will both be owned by the same company. Barbie, Transformers, Nerf, Hot Wheels. Basically, the toy aisles will be under the They might still have a Mattel badge in them, but they will be under the Hasbro umbrella. Now, would this mean we might see maybe better quality figures out of Mattel? Probably not, because they'd probably still use all the same factories. And whatnot. It'd just be like they'd have more financial backing now. But this might have a positive effect because more money would be coming into the brands. There'd be, more money to spend on engineering and stuff like that. More money to put into the movies. I think this isn't a bad thing if it happens.
Is there a worry of them Hasbro having a monopoly on the toy industry if that happens, though?
Yes, they basically them and Toys R Us become the toy industry.
Yeah,
in the West. But the other one, and I saw this in Cybertron. This is like pure rumor. Like I couldn't find any corroboration on it. Someone posted a news story about Hasbro was considering acquiring Takara because Takara was having a bit of a rough couple of years.
Really?
That was the rumor I saw.
Huh.
Now this is interesting to me, largely because I like on the surface people would say like, is that going to be any different than what we have now? Maybe not, but with broad with homegrown properties, definitely not. With broad properties like what we have over here, like Transformers, I'd be concerned we'd see less of the crazy.
Right.
Because now instead of someone at Takara giving the overhead, there might be someone at Hasbro who has to come in and give the thumbs up for something.
Yeah, I could see that. And
I would really. This is, would we have the wonder that is Sakamoto's stuff? Would those comics exist if that one guy at Hasbro came in? Because he sucked. He sucked the fun out of life.
Yeah.
He was a dick. If it kept Takara afloat, I suppose you got to do what you got to do. But I would hope if that did happen, we'd have sort of the same wisdom that occurred for the most part with the comics, which is, we'll let you do your own thing. We'll take risks because they're the proven market in Japan for crazy stuff. But again, complete rumor. I haven't found any corroboration or anything else. It's just basically one guy said to another kind of stuff.
Okay.
Any thoughts yourself on all this merger?
Like I say, it's maybe a bit of worry just on the basis that if they have a monopoly, that means there's no competition, and no competition in a market's never a good thing because it doesn't push people to do anything like better. But maybe that's a sign of the toy industry in this day and age, where that's just gonna happen. Just as the toy market's winding down, at least over here, I don't think they have that kind of worry in Japan, because I think it's less of a toy market and more of a collector market.
It's certainly morphed into that in recent years, and the collector market there is
huge.
Huge. Even like if it's a small percentage of the population. Have you seen the size of the population?
Yeah. They the way that it looks like in Japan is they work on you as a kid, and you buy a lot of stuff as a kid, and then you go get older, and then it's like, oh shit, there's all this collector stuff. For us in the UK and in the West, it's more you're a kid, you get the stuff as a kid, and then you decide to go back. If you're like us, or then you decide to go to the collector's market, which is where it's in Japan, so you have to go over to Japan.
Basically, in Japan, when you're about 18 or 19, someone comes into your house and hands you a red pill and a blue pill. If you take the blue pill, they leave. If they take the red pill, if you take the red pill, they then hit you over the head and drag you to Akihabara. And then they just sort of like open. It's like releasing a lion into the wild.
Yes.
And they all stand back, pull open thing, let you loose, and then you're just sort of transfixed for a few minutes before running off into the hedgerows.
I want to make coffee.
Yeah, I was going to say, in this case, the hedgerows are scantily clad maids selling you coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yan yan. And giving me joy for years to come. But and also sadness. But yeah, so it's a different market, and I would hope that monopolies are not good. But I would also hope the distance would mean, like, basically, it would just be like, here's a list of what we're making. Enjoy.
Yeah.
But again, until I see something more, I'm just going to take this as a pure rumor. But I felt it was something, since we had the Mattel thing, I thought it was worth mentioning.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. Shall I move us on, Mikey?
Yes.
Right, well, Mikey, we've talked about the Hall of Fame before. The Toy Hall of Fame, I should say. Well, this year of 2017, Transformers was not inducted into the Hall of Fame. It was beaten out by some other things this year, along with things such as the Magic 8 Ball.
Yay.
Fellow Hasbro property, My Little Pony. Okay, that's fair enough.
Okay.
Yep. And Matchbox cars. Yes, they've been going for decades. There's some other things that they included, such as the Wiffle Ball. Not the bat, the Wiffle Ball.
Oh, the ball.
So it says Wiffle Ball. Whether that means the entire game of Wiffle Ball, or specifically the ball itself, I don't know. These, by the way, Transformers were defeated in the final votes by these three. So the Wiffle Ball was one of them. The equally classic Whodunit board game, Clue. That's Clue. That's based on the movie. That's based on the board game.
Yeah, it's not less of a toy, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like board game. Is that a toy? I mean,
there's a fairly loose definition, but I think toy could be seen here as the equivalent of plaything.
Yeah. This note that this thing beat out Transformers, or was one of the three things that beat out Transformers, and that was paper planes. The paper plane.
500 BCE, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, apparently
paper planes were old, son.
Yeah, apparently that's when the first paper plane was made.
Who found that? What archaeologist was sitting there in the dirt, digging away, and just like, my friends, what? I found ancient pre-Roman paper planes.
I mean, how could you find paper planes? Would they not just like disintegrate?
I don't know. I suppose it was like more like made out of leather.
Maybe there were books on it, like how to paper plane in ye olde Rome.
Just like scrolls. Yeah. Ancient giant parchments about the intricacies of making a paper plane.
Throw paper planes at the gladiators as they battled the lions. Send words of encouragement. Send hopes and prayers to gladiators.
Or just like write thumbs up, thumbs down in it.
That's terrible.
Just someone sitting there going like, hey gladiator, what? Airmail.
Jeez.
You're a dick.
It's strange because I suppose technically a paper airplane is a toy.
It's again, I think we're into the realm of plaything because remember, I think one of the more other recent inductees was Cardboard Box. And they point out here another nominee this year was Sand.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Sand is a nominee. Sand. I
mean, technically, air is a plaything.
I guess, yes.
Because you fly kites with it.
Yes. And you know, when you breathe out and it's cold, the condensation, kids usually play doing that for a bit.
You use it to blow on your dogs to make them snap at the air.
If you're an asshole.
If you're an asshole. Yeah.
Sand.
Maybe I'm not saying Transformers should be in, but maybe just we need like what falls under the medium of Toy Hall of Fame 2017.
Yeah.
Like, should sand be in there this year, or should it have been years ago when it was discovered it was a plaything?
I mean, there's a lot of sand. Like in the world, there's a lot of sand.
I like this. If sand is a toy, then so are dirt, rocks, and anything else found in the natural world. Well, Stick was inducted a few years back.
Oh, shit. I think I remember us talking about Stick going in, and we said it was stupid.
Yep.
So does that
Just
mean paleontology is a plaything as well, because it's found in the ground?
Yep. Like, T-Rex is a plaything. T-Rex, toy of the year.
Jesus. Mikey,
Mm.
do you want to tell me about a weird thing?
Yeah, so there was a comic book. It was by IDW. It was Transformers vs. G.I. Joe. It was insanely popular, and we didn't like it. Not much.
Fact.
We didn't really like the writing. We didn't really like the art.
No.
Nothing really about it sold it to us.
No.
I also find it's linked to Tom Scaglioli, but of course John Barber was involved. But Tom's generally given more credit than John, and I can see that. But super, super popular. So, online retailer Toy Wiz have decided that they will stock upcoming editions by Kids Robots of their Transformers vs. G.I. Joe collection. This is a series of 7-inch figures and enamel. So, oh no, hang on. So they're going to have a 7-inch figure of the G.I. Joe vs. Transformers Cobra Commander. They're also going to have a number of enamel pins, and they're going to have a set of 18 PVC figures.
Wow, that's quite a set, really.
Yeah. Now I'm going to try and get as many of them as I can when I say it. I'm just opening the picture now. But so these will be about. Yeah, these are also going to be 7 inches. So. First up, we have Megatron, which is him with the fusion cannon energy mace, which he had, and Grimlock's head, because there's this weird thing where they kill Grimlock and Megatron just goes around wearing his head as a mitten.
Why?
I don't know. I think they fight in Trypticon, and when because Grimlock's being all Grimlock, and then we see him again, and Grimlock's dead, and Megatron's got his head for a glove, and then Ghost Grimlock shows up at the end,
right?
And Ultra Magnus is basically piloting the boat to the River Styx, because Magnus died too.
Okay.
It's weird. It's a bit weird. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Quickly, what do you think of him?
It's a stylized looking version of Megatron with an energy fusion cannon mace
and a dinosaur hand.
It's stylized.
That's got to be a Megatron Beast Wars reference.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of goes into the area of vinyl pops or pop vinyls, Mighty Mugs and that kind of stuff. It's a weird arty toy. All of this is just like weird arty toy stuff.
Yeah.
Like they don't do anything. As far as I know.
Like they look like they've just got some armor rotation and that's it. But yeah. I think this works better in 3D than it did on the page. This design, if I'm completely honest.
Okay.
I don't know. It's weird. I like PVC stuff. I like not pop vinyl stuff, but just because they look terrible. But I like little PVC things if they're nice. This is just weird. It's a weird 3D version of a weird concept.
Like, if you gave this to me as a kid, I would say that this was a knockoff. I wouldn't believe that this was an official Transformer product. You know?
Oh, dear. Yeah. Well, let's look at our other options then. We have Bumblebee. Mm-hmm. We have G2 and G1 Grimlock. I don't think G2 Grimlock appeared in it.
See, I thought it might have been Ghost Grimlock since you mentioned it. Maybe.
But he's blue anyway.
Okay, yeah.
He has weird ass proportions.
They all do, to be fair, so.
He looks like he's based off of Gwangi from the Valley of Gwangi movie. Which is he's got weird Ray Harryhausen proportions. We've got an Optimus who's surprisingly boring.
Well, that's Prime.
Does he have a sad tear? I think he might have died in the book at some point or been zombified.
Oh, it's Prime. He's probably
yeah. Because I think. No, I'm mixing up with Regeneration 1. I think. I don't think Prime's alive at the end. We have what I think is a Cobra Trooper wearing a toilet seat and a football jersey.
Nope, that's Bazooka.
That's Bazooka.
Yep.
Is he still wearing a toilet seat?
I can't tell. It looks like he might be.
Yeah. We've got Starscream, who looks like it's like IR zombie Starscream.
Is it not Locutus of Starscream Borg?
Locutus of Borg. Again, like I read it, but it's been a while since I've read it, so forgive me if I get it wrong. We've got quite a nice looking little stylized Scarlet.
Yes, yeah.
I like that. We have a less nice looking stylized Snake Eyes. Oh no.
He's simple.
No, he don't look good.
No.
We have Ultra Magnus, the white Optimus.
It looks like he's glow in the dark. That's the kind of plastic they've given him. That kind of white.
You think?
But I'm not saying it definitely will, but the way that it looks on here, it looks like that kind of white plastic that you shine the light on, and it glows bright green when you turn the light off. It'd be cool if it did that, because that'd be stupid.
Yep, that would be awesome. We've got Baroness, and again, nice looking Baron. I actually quite like Baroness.
Yep. The two female ones are probably the best ones. 3 female ones, sorry. 3.
We've got Shockwave.
He didn't have a gun hand, though.
No, but he's super Baron. And we have what I do not remember this series very well. But what I'm assuming is, what if Baroness was Serpentor?
I guess. Kind of looks like that's what it's meant to be.
I kind of dig it, because she's Cobra Commander now, so why shouldn't she be Serpentor as well?
Because she wasn't made from the DNA of the leaders, the best leaders of the world.
True.
That's why.
We have Wheeljack.
That didn't look like Wheeljack. Well, the head doesn't anyway. The head shape.
He looked like he'd killed before.
Yeah.
We've got Cobra Commander.
Yeah, the Deke series looking one with the shoulder pads.
We've got... Okay, do you know who this is? The green guy?
I think it's Lieutenant Falcon, but I'm not... Or someone like that, but I'm not entirely sure. Colonel Flash, something like that. I don't know.
He looks okay. We've got Destro. I kind of dig Destro's weird head.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. And we've got Soundwave. Who... The Transformers, their proportions have not translated well.
No, not desperately.
But I like the 3 girls. I think they look really nice, in all seriousness. I think they look good. And I'm all for more Baroness figures. But the rest of them... I'm not even the completionist in me can make me buy those Grimlock. I was thinking about it, would I buy them? And I'm just like, they're going to be overly expensive for what they are.
Do I want to burn money?
Money. That could go for a Dinobot fund. Or a Figure Arts Genom fund.
That's right.
2 very expensive funds.
So many things.
Or a Shin Zangetsu fund. Basically, there's a lot of funds. Yeah. No, I wouldn't be into many of these. Any of these, tweak your eye?
No. 1,000 times no.
Not even a little bit tweaked there,
no,
buddy?
all in the fire. They can all burn. Get me high off the fumes.
Oh, dear. In that case, do you want to finish us up with a couple of sightings news?
Yeah, we've had a few sightings. And it's primarily in the US, as we've seen Jazz, Dreadwind, Slug, and Swoop as they've been pooping out at the retail stores in America Land, so still probably already have them. Ha ha ha, Florida. Yeah. Stop. Yeah. And these were turning up in AZ, so I assume that's Arizona?
I think so, yes.
Not enough. There was apparently... it says in the story, not enough, ? Another person found some in a Target in Texas. The first one in AZ, which, assuming that is Arizona, was found at another Target. So it seems like Targets are the place to go to if you're a fancy shopper. Let's see. They seem to be...
They've got the price on here.
$12 each?
Hey, yeah.
What?
Oh, coupon 25. No, it's 17 and 25% off coupon.
Okay. I was going to say $12. That's redonk. That's crazy cheap. That's too cheap. I mean, that's the price Andy would start buying Transformers again from a store, but oof. All right, yeah. So Power of the Prime was, from what I remember, meant to be hitting on the 1st of December was the dates that we saw in press release and all that kind of jazz, but it seems like they've been leaking out a little bit early. So maybe by the 1st they'll be all out over America World and maybe out here in the UK. I don't know.
I'm assuming we'll get Wave 1.
Well, yeah, we'll get Wave 1, but when? And I think it hammers in once again that, Slug Sling is maybe a no-go, potentially. You don't want him anyway.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
And that's it. I mean, we did also get Transformers movie new images of editions of possible Voyager-class figures. It wasn't a huge amount here. It just kind of popped up on Weibo. And it has Megatron... I assume Dark of the Moon Megatron?
Yeah.
No, it's Revenge of the Fallen Megatron.
Is it?
Because he doesn't have a hole in his head, and he doesn't have... He's got
you tell?
The tread feet. He's got the tread feet, and I can see a big hook hand.
That's Revenge of the Fallen.
But he doesn't have a cape.
Yeah, that's Dark of the Moon. Dark of the Moon, he's a truck.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Fallen, he's a tank.
Tank thing. Yeah, that's the one.
This is Tank Megatron.
That's the one I mean. The tank one.
Yeah.
Stupid one. Where he nearly gets killed. He's weak and sad. There's that one. There's Optimus Prime, which we've seen, and a Starscream. Don't know if he's got the tats or if it's non-tats Starscream.
The rumors are we're going to get 2 different ones.
Yes,
so we'll probably get tat and non-tat. Well, we might just get 2 tats.
the ones shown here though seem to be the first version, as they've got him listed as number 6 in the line. Prime's number 5 in the line, apparently. Megatron's 13 and Brawl is 12. I mean, those I would assume are linking to their release numbers or the series numbers. So that's it. Yeah, that's it.
The only other thing worth noting is we reported last week that RC was not going to be in Toys R Us.
Oh, that's
right. They
were
dropping pre-orders. This was basically it was a computer error on their part, and everyone's going to get them. I think some copies are either gone out or they're going out soon. False alarm, everyone.
Yeah, it was literally I put up the podcast and the story just came out as I was editing the podcast. I was like, oh, come on. Oh, come on. What a dick move. It's like, oh, Moonbase are reporting on false news. No, time just wasn't in our favor. It fucked us. Someone in the news industry wanted to fuck us bad.
They wanted to take us out to dinner before they fucked us.
Exactly. That's it, Mikey. That's the news for this week. So I guess the question, as we always must ask at this point in the show, is what have you been up to this week? What's the young Mikey done that's fun and fancy free and all that kind of fancy jazz?
As with recent weeks, there's been a lot of real world stuff, so not a lot of time for new media. But I have had some evenings to mess about and stuff. No, I have been I have been watching anime, but I have been collecting anime. So I have loads of new stuff, I've got loads of old stuff, and I'm just kind of like, when I've got a free minute, just sit down and blitz a few things.
Oh, this is stuff to watch, you mean?
Like, good bit of new stuff and a good bit of old stuff.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's kind of all storing up. I do have Recreators downloaded, so I'll be watching that. It's just, again, it's like when I've got time, I'll just sit down and start blitzing stuff. Because I can get through it. Like, I can easily get through a series of a 12 episode anime series if I've got a day.
I wonder if you'll get more out of that show than I did.
I don't know. Like, I think I'm more forgiving of the gimmick than you are.
Yeah, maybe.
But we'll wait and see. But I have done some media stuff and everything else. I did watch Build today. Kamen Rider Build Episodo Tendo.
Oh, and?
Plot.
Even
Such
more plot.
Oh my god, the plot. This is quite a dead person show for a Neo Heisei Neo Showa Neo Showa Heisei Neo show. Which I mean is like there's a lot of dead people. I counted like 6 or 7 in this one.
Oof, wow.
A lot of action in this one. It's mostly an action episode, to be honest. Set up for the villains. A lot of conflict in the villain camp, but also, oh no. Oh, this is not good for the world. There is some hilarious Japanese overacting from the 2 people playing the prime ministers. Like they stand next to Pandora's box, the big space device, and they're just gesturing constantly with the crazy hand thing. And then someone does the like evil glasses push up with the smirk.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
With the middle finger.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, Andy, I would say now is the time to jump into it, either now or next week, because I think you could watch the last 2 as a 2-parter and have like an addendum with next week's episode.
Oh.
I'd say now, because like you have the plot layout, you have evil goals, you have where every character stands, and you have your stakes. Not your Orobachi episode, but you have your stakes.
Yeah, prime, tender, fleshy meat steaks.
So I think now would be a good time.
Okay.
I've been watching it on Kiss Asian because I don't want to download because I'm running around doing a million other things.
And your internet is a thing.
And my internet is a thing. But yeah, so I sat at my computer staring for like half an hour yesterday. Do I turn on Steins Gate Zero?
Oh no.
I didn't because I'm going to go through again tonight because I'm getting the urge. But I know if I turn it on, I will not have a life until I'm finished.
Because you'll have to do it. You'll have to finish it.
Oh yeah. Like it'll be like every night will be just, and now we do Steins Gate Zero. Now we sit in bed crying. Why? Why is this happening? So I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it soon. But it's an emotional moment. You know. Apart from that, though, I did get some toys.
Woo!
In the post.
Woo!
because it's my birthday soon.
Well,
And some nerds decided to get me some stuff. And they looked at the history of the list and decided what are some of the things that have been on the list the longest. Because Vulcan's done. He'll be done soon enough. So
yeah, that was a problem you sorted out yourself, luckily.
Something that had been on the list for a very long time was the Takara Legends girls. The Takara Legends Decepticon girls, the original wave. Thank you, Andy.
Yay! I did
thank
good.
You, Guy, and Tricky, and Matt, and Nicole, and Wayne, and me for opening them.
Yes, you had the hardest job of all.
Yep. These are my new desk toys when I'm recording and stuff, and when I'm in here fiddling about. I love them. I love them to bits. They're certainly variable in terms of figure quality, but the comics are great crack. They've got portraits on the back that I kind of want to get framed. They're hilarious. Black Arachne is amazing. Oh my god. So like just talking about the molds, the paint jobs on all of them are exquisite, like crazy good, like crazy good by Takara standards. I mean, that's saying something. Like Slipstream. I will say one thing I'm slightly nervous about. They've all got translucent heads.
Yeah, the back part. Is it the full face? I'm trying to remember Slipstream.
I think it's the full face and they're all just painted up.
Maybe. I know the back half of the head is for some reason completely unpainted translucent. At least for Slipstream.
Yeah. So I tend not to fiddle with the heads too much.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have them look forward because, you don't need to look to they've all got waist joints.
Yes.
So... no, one of them doesn't, or at least not a very easily accessible one. But Slipstream, she looks great. Amazing color scheme. The new molding on the chest is wonderful. The new weapons are cool. The new head sculpt is sublime. The paint job all over, I can't find a single blemish. And very robust. Like, you put on the guns, go on the arm by going over the painted forearms.
It's weird putting them on, isn't it? It doesn't feel super... When I say it doesn't say great putting it on it, I wouldn't want to do it regularly. No. But the paint is holding up. I've done it 3 or 4 times. Yeah. And the paint holds up very well. The base mold has a lot of cool engineering parts. The transformation is simple enough, but it's got a lot of little extra bits and bobs that I think add some real character to it. The jet mode is nothing special. Nah. It's got some... It's basically, we wanted to do interesting engineering, and then, we had to also take account of this. So that... the back half has a lot of really cool moments in it, but when you get to the end of the moments, it's just like, well, I've got a pair of legs that are not... they're not legs like you would have expected them to be, but they're still legs. Overall, a really solid mold, let down by one thing, and it's one thing that colors a lot of people's viewpoints on this figure. And it's the heels. Yeah. The heel idea is great. Yep. You wanted to get... Because there was a big emphasis on feminine form. Feminine anime girl form. And the idea was give her these heels. It'll let you have the heels and toes and everything else, and she'll still look good. And it works. Visually, it works. The problem is they're on a really loose swivel. And that swivel basically goes if you put any pressure on it. So... You'll put her down, and she'll very easily start leaning back when you're fiddling with her. This could have been fixed very, very easily if they just had some indentations on these heels. Like, at this joint, have faux ratchet joints, just very, very light ones, just enough to provide that natural catch. That is an engineering oversight, in my opinion. It doesn't in any way ruin the figure for me. She's got a dedicated stand port, stick it on, and she's just floating there being evil, and I think that's great. I think she looks great in that position. It doesn't ruin the figure for me at all. I think this figure does loads of cool stuff. But I can really see why you'd buy it, be so excited about the original Windblade, which has also the issue of the dodgy face paint and sculpt. And you'd be like, wow, this is super cool. I can't what? She can't what? I have to fiddle with it every time you put it into a new pose.
And it's just annoying. Also, I will say she doesn't go into sultry poses as well as the other two, but she does all right for herself. And this is important because this is, Sakamoto Slipstream.
Part of the character.
I love the fact this is technically an animated toy.
Oh yeah, she got a facelift when she came through the Legends universe somehow.
I'm just fiddling with her now, and I'm literally afraid to try turning her head. because her joints are they're all three of them really stiff joints out of the box. So I think she'll be looking forward in her life, and I'll just twist her waist if I want her to look any other direction.
Yeah.
But this is the last official animated toy as far as we know. I like it. I like it a lot. Next up, we've got Black Arachnia. I'm saying next up because I'm saving the actual best toy for last.
Oh.
But Black Arachnia is the animated Black Arachnia mold, remolded in several ways. Brand new spider head, brand new.
I didn't know the spider head was new.
Yep, completely redone.
Yeah.
Really nice as well. Really, really nice sculpting it. She also has a clear plastic head, but hers is all painted on the back. And her joint's a little more flexible, I think, for the transformation. So I'm not as afraid. I'm not going to rotate her head much, but she's going to be a little looking up and down. She's got waist rotation. It's an okay mold. It's always been one of those problematic ones.
Yeah. Well, it's a very it's the oldest figure technically in the three that you got.
Yeah. But I had the original Black Arachnia back in the day. I really liked her. I just thought, really wish engineering had caught up with the design.
Sure. Yeah.
Same here, unfortunately, but she's very good at looking sassy because she's got the inward arm fold is really good for sassy poses, and it's Black Arachnia. So yeah, but the paint job, excellent. The new sculpting there is excellent. Everything else. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Mm.
She has the pedipalps, which are the mouth parts on the spider, and they are also translucent plastic boobs that you have to flip up to fully transform her. Without flipping up her plastic boobs, she basically looks like she's a spider head for a chest.
I mean,
and she's got a spider rack with which are see-through, which gives the impression that she has wet her shirt.
This was the thing that really drew you to the toy originally, if I remember.
Yep, because it's nuts. Someone at Takara was sitting there going like, I really want to do Black Arachnia. Yeah, but like, you want to be more show accurate? Yeah, but she is kind of like, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I know, right? And it gets better because the pedipalps and the boobs her boobs are ball jointed. Which means that when you go in, there's a very good chance her boobs will be off-center. So you have to then move her boobs around until they're in just the right position, or else they look a little off. So you have to spend about 2 or 3 minutes there just like, and just like really getting a grip there, really feeling her up to get her just right. And then you take a big spinnerette thing and plug it into her ass.
Yeah.
I love this toy. This is amazing. I want the Fans Project Dinobots now because in them you have to flip up the boobs. Like, at least one of them. I want one of those girls because those toys don't look good, but that's a gimmick I find hilarious.
See, I'm not sure if I'm happy that we helped get you these things because it's made you want more Fans Project stuff.
Yeah, but also, like, tying into this, she's about a head or two taller than the other two.
Yeah. And
her plastic is really hefty in comparison.
Oh.
Because, like, 2007 toy versus 2014.
Yeah, but I'm still surprised that the density of the plastic is as noticeable as it is, since it's not a figure that it's been made within this time period rather than it being made in that time period, if you know what I mean.
You notice it when you pick her up. I'll say that
weird.
much.
That's kind of interesting.
Suppose they can only do so much with the mold. But with that and the giant chest and everything else, she just turned into the anime stereotype of the giant Amazon hot girl in the school who's like, she hangs out with her friends and she's very convinced she's the ugly one. And she's always on like, oh, but boys never like me. And you just cut to every boy in the school slowly like walking into tables and things when she walks by or something like that. That's this Black Arachnia. And it kind of ties in because she's a secretary in the comic and the same thing. Like, and finally, the actual like genuine, holy crap, I was not expecting this good toy. Because I like them all. I do, but I was not expecting this one to be this good. Nightbird. Her vehicle mode is fecking gorgeous. The black and the silver in that car mode, holy crap! It's like the Megatronia stuff. It's that much of a difference.
Right.
It's that sharp of a contrast. She comes with 6 accessories, all of which can be stored in her body. They can't all be stored in car mode, but they can all be stored in the body.
All at once?
Yep, I've got all cool. 6 now on now. She's a shell former, but she's got some very interesting engineering. How her arms work, I think, is really cool. How her chest works, informing the body versus... Because it also forms the back of the front of the hood. Really nice. The legs are really, really interesting. They're geared, or at least they've got faux gears or faux ratchets or something. And how the legs come together, I've never seen it like this before. It means that she's got quite limited side-to-side motion. But she's very good forward and back, and she's got a really deep knee, so she's functionally got a double-jointed leg. She's great. She's amazing, and the paint job, like, she goes from a black car to a silver robot. Again, it's because she's a shell former, but it works super, super well. I cannot recommend this figure enough if you're into Transformers. Get it, like, seriously. You don't have to like Nightbird. You don't have to like the crazy Japaneseness of all of this. But you do have to look at this and go like, that is a beautiful figure. She has light piping when the others don't.
Oh, I wonder why that is.
Their eyes are painted over. Or the back of their... Like, Black Arachnia's eyes aren't painted, but her back of her head is painted over. So this one has clear yellow eyes. But really, really good. Really solid figure as well. Wow. Thank you all so much for these. These are amazing. Unfortunately, I now not only want to get the Fans Project toys, but I kind of need to get the Autobot girls, and I definitely need to get Megatronia. That needs to happen. If I can get some extra Christmas money, maybe. If I sell some stuff on eBay. Who knows?
The problem with getting the Autobot ones is technically it'll just be repaints of two of them and slight remolds, because Windblade is obviously Slipstream and RC is obviously Nightbird.
Yep.
I'd say you've got the better versions of those figures.
I do. That's why Chromia and Megatronia are priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want those two. I do want them. If nothing else, because Windblade can be my comic Windblade.
And you've got the comics as well with each of the three.
Yeah, and I've also got little chibi Windblade to hang out with them now as well.
Ooh.
My Iron Factory Windblade.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She can sit on Black Arachnia and make her feel more uncomfortable about her height. These are great, and I'm really grateful, and I think it was a lovely thing to do for me. Thank you all so much. Like, seriously, kind of blew my mind. This kind of blew my mind. But yeah, so that mind blown. That's me, Andy. What about yourself?
I've done a few things this week. One of the biggest things I've done was I've changed up my living room. A friend came over on Friday, and we took down a sofa that was in upstairs, and we brought it downstairs, and we brought a table that was upstairs and brought that downstairs as well. So I now have a new area where I'm computering from. So I'm not sitting on a big old leather chair, so I can move about in my chair, and it doesn't go squeaking noises. And it means that in the summer I won't be peeling my flesh from the leatheriness of the chair. It's low to the ground as well, because it was actually the angle, because it wasn't a new couch, the leather one. The bottom would sink in, and the high was quite high up, so my knees were always like diagonally pointing upwards and then hanging down, so my feet weren't touching the floor. Just saying something because I'm not small, which made it quite uncomfortable to just normally sit in. I'd usually have to cross my legs while sitting in it to get a decent sitting thing. With this, it's a lot comfier. And I've now, because of that, I've moved the what was my current PC storage thing, where I had my PC stored, into the living room, which is going to become my new filming area, so I won't need to go up and downstairs to film stuff and transfer footage over to the PC. So that should hopefully help with not procrastinating while doing things, especially while videoing, because it's like, I can't bother to go all the way upstairs. It's like, it's right there. It's right there. Why don't you just shut up, Andy, and just do it? It's right there. You're looking at it right now. So that was the main hope for what was happening, or what will happen. I watched a new episode of Discovery. That was a thing that I did. Yep. Still a thing.
What happened in the new episode, Andy? I didn't see it because I've stopped.
I'll just quickly go over. They go to a planet which is alive, basically, and there's a transmitter, and they want to use the transmitter to detect cloaked Klingon ships, and Saru gets all freaked out, and then the planet calms him down, and he freaks out again in a different way, and that was the episode.
Cool. Was it good?
It's Discovery. It wasn't as bad as the episode you stopped on, so that's something. You know, you tell you what you can get, I suppose. Did I do anything else of real importante?
Importante.
I watched a few things, but I can't seem to. I must have got rid of them from my list of what I usually keep, so can't really talk about that. I've restarted watching Gundam Build Fighters because that's fun. That's still stupid and amazing, and one of the most fun Gundam shows you can watch. Gundam. And I got a gift from you and Tricky, Matt, Jai, Wan, and the Vangelis, which was the Kamen Rider Sodo Wave. What wave is it? Wave 9, Stage 9. Stage 9. The 9th stage in this line of candy toys, which is a line from Kamen Rider X-Aid, which actually has the characters that most of the other lines haven't covered yet, or are never going to, potentially. highly probable that the figure arts line won't get onto most of these characters. I'm gonna guess.
Yep.
Yeah. So in this wave, each figure is 2 boxes worth. So I've got a crap ton of candy, death candy as I call it, because it's just pure sugar. I have Taddle Legacy, which is the final version of Taddle Quest, or Brave at least. He's neat. Let me grab him. He's cool. Because he is a later wave figure, the back of his back part, which has the chibi head for his game mode, has no stickers or anything like that, unlike the earlier versions of him, which have the stickers and whatnot. It's kind of, I think the later bodies that are for the gimmick kind of figures, like your Geki Robots, Gaim or X-Aid, and your Jet Combat version of Snipe. They all have this kind of just dull version on the back, because the original versions had the fancy versions, and they're like, hey, you should have got that one if you wanted the fancy sticker version. But who cares, because you're not seeing that anyway. You're seeing the fancy stuff on the front. It doesn't have the marble design on it, which is obvious, because it's a tiny candy toy figure. It's nice and white. It's got some nice stickers. Not too many, though. It looks good. It's good. The sword's actually coloured correctly, unlike the proper toy version, which was...
What do you mean?
The sword for the proper toy, the level up toy, was just one colour. It was white, I think, the base of it. And then it had a fully red sword and then a fully blue sword for the 2 halves of the sword, because it has an ice and a fire feature. With this, it's coloured in the right plastic, which is grey. It's got a sticker to go over, so it's got the A and B button on it, and it's got that coloured blue. And then it's got because the red and the blue half are stickers, it's also got the silver in the centre of that to show that it's part of the sword, and the fire effect or ice effect is coming out from there. So it actually does that a lot better, which is good. That's good. It's the one of the figures that I cared the least about in this wave, because it's not as cool as the rest of them. The next one up, and I'm going in order of the ones I like, or the ones I think are the best, or the worst of the best, is Muteki, the Super Saiyan version of X-Aid, his final form. He has some asshole stickers to put on him. Like, really unpleasant stickers on his wrists. There's the way that they go on is not desperately kind. They don't stick down very well. You have to keep faffing with it until it sticks down. I've managed to get them to stick down, but it was they're not smooth on the surface. But they're there. They're on. He's got probably, I think, the most stickers. He's got quite a few on his thighs, on his back, on his torso, on his chest, and then on his forearms, and then the eyes. I think I put one of the eyes ones on a bit wonky. And because of his hair, his giant Super Saiyan Predator dreadlock hair, he has less head articulation. That's kind of what you'd expect. And it does weigh him back a little bit, just because that's where the center of gravity pulls him back because of the weight of the hair. But he looks neat. He's a dirty brown, kind of caramel, kind of browny yellow, I guess you'd kind of call him. Which is good enough. I mean, I don't expect him to be gold-plated or anything like that. That'd be stupid. He's okay. He's pretty nifty. And he also comes with the Gashikon sword? Is that what it is? What's it called?
Honestly. Gashikon Key Slasher.
That's it. He comes with the gun form of that. I assume there's a sword form.
No.
No?
No, basically, the sword form is that it's the sword form, and then the gun form is he points the sword and shoots people with it.
No, that's what I mean, because the handle is pointed at an angle, so it is in a gun form. So I'm assuming that there's another form of the sword, which has the handle straight down.
I know what would happen. They'll have like the regular one the one with the straight handle, that'll come with the Mighty Action Double X.
It'll come with one of them.
Yeah.
Who knows
So
which one?
That'll be for the twins.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I think this was one of the things that would allow people to get the other form or the other version, technically, even though it's not any different apart from the handle. The other version of that. So that's quite neat. He's nice, but he's not as cool as the ones coming up. Oh, wow. What would I choose next? I'm looking at the 3 that's left on the table. I'm like, I don't know. Here's the one I like next. Probably Genom Level X. Is that what it is?
Which one?
Genom.
Yeah, but which? White or blue? Or white or black?
Black.
Black is level 0.
Yeah, level 0. Yeah, I've got that one. Which is basically level 2 Genom, but with more paint apps, effectively. So he's good. He's got some nice stickers on him. I like the extra color on him compared to the original version of the figure. I think his chest is a different color as well, isn't it?
I think it should be.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot more grey on him.
No, I mean his gamepad kind of chest.
I've seen some things where it looks like they might actually have changed a few things about that, but I never noticed in show.
Right, because on this sticker, the chest bit is reddish, like on the inside of the gamepad, and I'm pretty sure it's not for the other characters.
Cool.
I can't remember offhand. So maybe that's just something I missed in the show. But I like him. It's Dan. It's more sensible Dan. It's a Dan you'd take home to your parents before he goes insane.
Before he eats them.
In a sense, yeah. I've actually given him Poppy's extra chainsaw Gashikon bug visor thing.
Cool.
Just because I don't think Poppy should have it. Poppy's not a violent sort. And that's the next one. It's Poppy. It's Kamen Rider Poppy. She's really good. I love her. She's got a big point on the back of her hair, and I don't know what that's for. It's almost like there's something that should plug into that. And the stickers that go over the top of the eyes, if you start looking at it at an angle, you start seeing more white from underneath where the sticker can't cover it up, which is a bit of a shame. But that's just a problem with stickering. Apart from that, she's got a different type of body from the rest of them because she's the girl and she's pretty. And she's got little garters on, which is quite fun, and a little skirt. She's very characterful. I like her a lot. Yeah, Poppy's great. And then obviously I've got Dangerous Zombie. I've got the Candy Toy Dangerous Zombie, which I'm pleased about. I finally got a Dangerous Zombie. And he's great. Granted, he doesn't have the belt that I would normally associate with him, but I don't care. It's about time I had a Koroto Dan. I mean, yeah, some of the stickers are an issue to get on. They're a bit faffy to get on. And it's a shame that they don't all have like wrist joints or a waist joint. Only the Dai Sodo stuff has that. And that's only for Snipe, Brave, and Exade. So that's the reason why those figures go, because people get like Tada Legacy and they're like, maybe I should just buy another version of this Dai Sodo body so it can have the extra articulation. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Making it hard on me. Maybe I should buy another version of the Dai Sodo body.
Yeah, I did think that. I have thought that a few times. I was looking over to see what I'd need to paint up on like Dangerous Zombie to get him more accurate, and it's a fair amount. But I because I've got like a load of spare half heads, because you get the body and then you get the armor. That's how the 2 packs are divided. I've got like unpainted half of a head of Poppy, Brave, and each of them. So I might try and find what the best way is to get paint on them, and use them as my testers. So that's quite cool. And one other neat little thing I got in the package, which was quite nice, was the person who sent it also put in a little origami crane in there as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I was like, that's nice. It's really nice Japanese paper as well. So it's like a peachy kind of color with these nice flowers on it. And I was like, I'm not going to throw that away. That's nice. Yay. Yeah, so they're my new desk toys at the moment. They're a lot of fun. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Very, very thoughtful, as I've been wanting these for a bit. Though I'm glad Chris chipped in because he's the one that caused this problem I have. So,
yep,
he should.
He's been working on me for a while. So.
Oh yeah. You know what's funny? This set was actually going to be one of the things I thought about getting for you. It was. I was asking Chris, like, would this be a good set to get Mikey? I was like, yeah, no, it would be a good set. It's got all the characters he'd like. And I was like, okay, we'll get that. And then when I was going to put in the order, it had sold out completely on Mandarake. And I was like, shit, it's getting too close. It's getting too close. Because when I was putting in the order for this, I didn't expect it to get to you in the amount of time it did. I honestly thought, since it was coming from like Hong Kong or China or wherever, it would take like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, as it, for the most part, usually did. I didn't. It took...
Same here, actually. I was expecting it to take you like early December.
It took less than 10 days to get to you, I think.
Yep.
Because I put the order in like on the 30th, 31st, and you got it well before like a 2-week period. I was shocked. But no, funny coincidences. Funny little side things.
We're too similar sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to help Chris give you the problem.
I'm just sitting there like trying to stick them and getting really angry.
Yeah, just being like, oh, hey, Mike, you should get some more of these, right? I'm glad I didn't, because it means I've got less competition. One less person to fight the flow of Soto.
I am enjoying the battle you're undergoing at the moment.
Of what?
Well, like the maximum Mighty X thing today.
Oh, he's so difficult to get.
Yeah, because there's only one way to get a decent maximum Mighty X, because the official main toy line one is shit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Because it's a shell.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I want a robot.
Yep. And I asked Chris today what the best way is to get him, and he said, oh, yeah, well, they usually pop up on Yahoo auctions. So I was like, oh, god damn it, I'd need to go through a middleman service to get that shit.
Yep.
And that's always a faff.
Yep.
So, yeah, thank you very much, guys. That's what I've been doing today. I've been putting these things together and stickering them up and pushing, getting my fingernail and pushing them all into the cracks and all that jazz. So that's been a fun day. And I think that is going to end our show, Mr. Mikey.
Yep, I'm out of stuff.
Yeah, same. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode. Where can people find you on the internet, Mr. Mikey, if you want them to, of course?
You can find me on Twitter as GWolfV3. You can find me on YouTube as GWolfV3. You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo. You can find me on WordPress on paleoandnerd.wordpress.com. You can find me over at the Oil House. Oh, I think that's it. What about you, Andy?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW, as well as this podcast, which is the Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. You can also find this podcast and all its things on the Facebook page. We're on the Moonbase 2 forums, on iTunes, we're on Twitter when Mikey uses it. And we are on a few other places like Libsyn. If you just put us into Google or into your RSS feed, we'll probably pop up. And if you want to help out the podcast, you can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2. And if you do $2 each month, you get shows like From the Files of Teletran 2, the extended versions of that, at least, where we talk about fun comics like ROM versus Transformers. And you also get stuff like Moonbase Woo Woo. On the YouTube page, the preview for the Kamen Rider show, the 20 minutes of that show, have gone up. So if you want to hear the first 20 minutes of Mikey, Chris, and Matt talking about Ex-Aid, head over there, have a listen to it. And if you want to hear the rest of it, head over to Patreon, and you can just do the $2, and boom, you got it. The show's on YouTube is 20 minutes. The full show is 3 hours, basically.
We talked a lot.
Yes, so it's and you pay $2 and you get a lot more. Do you have anything else then, Mr. Mikey?
No, just thank you all again. Really appreciate the gift. You are contributing to my addiction to robot Japanese ladies. Which is an odd addiction in that I don't indulge it very often, but I'm always amused when I do.
Yeah, well, you've got to go in, Sakamoto-san.
You are now leaving